If you're the sort of person who needs something interesting in life but are practically only able to see the leaves in your garden, then this video might just be for you.
Solar eclipse. What is solar eclipse? A solar eclipse occurs when the moon passes between the sun and the earth, blocking the sun partially or completely. This results in the parts of the earth covered in the shadow of the moon. There are three kinds of solar eclipse: total solar eclipse, annular solar eclipse, and partial solar eclipse.
Hello guys, I'm Soumya and I'm going to be talking to you about how eclipses take place, both lunar and solar eclipses. So this is a diagram of what a solar eclipse looks like. Solar eclipse happens when the moon gets in the way of the sun's light and casts its shadow on Earth. That means that during the day, the moon moves over the sun and gets dark. This total eclipse happens about every year and a half somewhere on Earth. A particular eclipse, when the moon doesn't completely cover the sun, happens at least twice a year somewhere on Earth. But not everyone experiences every solar eclipse. Getting a chance to see a total solar eclipse is rare. The moon's shadow on the Earth isn't very big, so only a small portion of the places on Earth will see it. You also have to be on the sunny side of the planet when it happens. You also have to be on the path of the moon's shadow. On average, the same spot on Earth gets to see a solar eclipse for only a few minutes every 375 years.
But why do you need to know about this right now? On the 21st of June, we will be witnessing a solar eclipse.
Here, the solar eclipse will go on for a period of 6 hours, and the full eclipse will occur on 9:15 am, and the maximum solar eclipse will occur on 12:10 pm. It will end by 3:04 pm, and the full eclipse will go on till 2 pm.
Hey friends, now let us talk about the upcoming event of solar eclipse that is on 21st of June 2020. This type of solar eclipse is said to be annular solar eclipse. In the entire world, it would occur as an annular solar eclipse. In India, it would start from 9:15 am and would last till 3:04 pm according to the Indian Standard Time. But in most part of India, it would be seen as partial solar eclipse. In some states like Rajasthan, Haryana and Uttarakhand, it would be seen as annular solar eclipse for about 30 to 45 seconds. Now let us talk about the timings in some of the cities like Dehradun, Tehri, Sirsa, Chamoli, Josimath, etc., where the solar eclipse is going to occur in the form of annular solar eclipse. In Dehradun, the solar eclipse would start from 10:24 am and would last till 1:51 pm. In the city of Tehri, this solar eclipse would start from 10:25 am and would last till 1:52 pm. In Sirsa, the solar eclipse would start from 10:17 am and would last till 1:42 pm. This solar eclipse would occur for almost 3 hours and 27 minutes. Now let us talk about some of the prominent cities of India: Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai and Kolkata. In Delhi, the solar eclipse would begin from 10:19 am and would last till 1:48 pm. It would last for about 3 hours and 29 minutes. Now let us talk about another city, Mumbai. In Mumbai, the solar eclipse would start from 10 am and would last till 1:27 pm. In Kolkata, the solar eclipse would start from 10:46 am and would last till 2:17.
This video here shows how the coming annular solar eclipse on 21st June 2020 is going to happen. This video here shows the pathway of coming annular solar eclipse. Here, the dark orange dot signifies the places where they can experience complete annular solar eclipse. The places along the red line are the ones that can see complete annular solar eclipse. Some important places are marked on the map. This shows how the people living in these places can see the annular solar eclipse. Now I'm going to talk about India and its eclipses. The earliest description of solar eclipses can be found in the Rig Veda, the oldest document of India dated between 1700 and 1400.
Hello, I am Anurag and I am going to talk about myths related to eclipses. Ancient cultures tried to understand why the sun temporarily vanished from the sky. So, they came up with several reasons for what caused an eclipse. In many cultures, the legends surrounding eclipses involve mythical figures eating or stealing the sun. Others interpreted this event as a sign of quarreling among angry gods. In Vietnam, it was believed that a giant frog was swallowing the sun. Similarly, in China, it was believed that a dragon was gulping down the sun. Around the world, the involvement of animals in the result of an eclipse was very common. Scandinavian Vikings believed that a pair of wolves chased the sun and the moon, and when one of them caught up with either the solar or the lunar orbit, the result was an eclipse. In Korea, it was believed that the king ordered a pair of fire dogs to steal the sun. They just get close enough to get a nip out of the sun, causing an eclipse. In order to protect the sun, the people chased away the demons stealing or eating the sun by banging pans, plates, pots, etc. The ancient Greeks believed that eclipses occur when the sun god became angry with humans and thought that disaster and destruction would soon follow. The Inuits believe that the sun goddess has a fight with her brother moon and runs away. The moon chases her and in the obsession forgets to eat. He thus becomes smaller and smaller until he disappears on the new moon day.
Hey friends, these eclipses sound amazing, right? Then why not make it more amazing by looking at some really interesting facts? Let's dive in. Did you know that on an average there are at least 2 and at most 5 solar eclipses per year? Almost identical solar eclipses occur after every 18 years and 11 days. This phenomenon is known as Saros cycle. Earth is the only planet in the solar system subject to total solar eclipse. If you are at the poles, whether north or south, then you can never witness a total solar eclipse. During a lunar eclipse, tidal activities show a rise and often spring tides occur. The longest lunar eclipse in the century took place on the night of July 27th, and it lasted for about 1 hour and 43 minutes. The Danjon scale is a scale that is used to measure the brightness of lunar eclipse. It ranges from 0 to 4. A lunar eclipse can also be observed from the moon itself. The refracted red light displays an outline of a brilliant red ring around the Earth's atmosphere. Selenalian takes place when both the eclipsed moon and the sun can be observed at the same time.
Wow, weren't those facts fascinating? What's more fascinating is to know about the researches done on this field. Well, it is quite impossible to study the solar corona during a normal day, as it is too dim as compared to the bright face of the sun. During the few moments of a total solar eclipse, the sun's corona is visible from Earth.
Scientists also use instruments called coronagraphs to study the solar corona from space. The coronagraphs create an artificial eclipse by using a metal disc to block the sun's face, and this helps them to measure its intensity and also helps in determining the future coronal mass ejection and its effects on satellites. The Indian Space Research Organization has done immense research to study the solar eclipse. It has planned to launch satellite Aditya to study solar eclipse on continuous basis and also other aspects of the sun. The satellite will carry as its payload an advanced solar coronagraph. Although it was to be launched early, but its launch date has been rescheduled.
So now let us answer the question why you should never look at solar eclipse with your naked eyes. Direct sunlight entering your eyes even on regular days has harmful effects. Sunlight contains components like visible light, infrared light, and ultraviolet light. Infrared light readily gets converted into heat. Ultraviolet light causes sunburns. The mild side effects of UV includes headaches and vision defects. The more harmful side effects include eye disorders. So how does this exactly gets worse during the eclipse? The darkness of the eclipse misleads the eye and overrides the reflex to squint. So the intensity of light which reaches the eye that is not squinting increases. The increase is dangerous. The lens focuses the light on the retina and scorches it. This results in condition called solar retinopathy. Since there are no pain receptors in the retina, you are likely to feel nothing until the harm has been already done. So how can we look at the eclipse? You can do it using the eclipse goggles. These specs block UV and infrared light. They should not be damaged in any way, shape or form. During total solar eclipse of 2017, some manufacturers of these goggles were careless and did not make them resistant to UV and VR, which caused dangers to many viewers.
Solar eclipses aren't just fun to look at, they have a very significant role within the scientific community. In fact, let us look at a few experiments that have taken place during the solar eclipse. If there's one thing you know about helium, it's that upon inhaling it, your voice goes higher. But did you also know that helium was discovered because of a solar eclipse? On the 18th of August 1868, Jules Honson used a prism to capture the sunlight coming from a solar eclipse in Guntur, India. He observed a spectral line of 587.49 nanometers. He speculated it came from the element sodium. This was a serendipity of sorts, because that is actually the spectral line of helium. Here's something else you can try. You can calculate the distance between the Earth and the Sun using two different locations. This method is called the parallax method. The distance between the two locations is called the basis, and the angle, which you can see right here, is known as the parallax angle or the parallactic angle. Take the basis, as you can see right here, and then divide it by theta, which will be smaller than 1 since the distance is pretty far away.